I'm Kyndle.
I'm Adam.
I'm Josh. And I'm Nathan, and we're the creators of Right Hand Van. The city of Evansville has become widely industrialized and urbanized with 163,000 total jobs in the Evansville area and a strong job growth rate of 2% yearly. This leaves Evansville with an unemployment rate of 3.5%, a rate that is well below the national rate of 3.9%. With Evansville's strong job economy, it should be easy for everyone to get a job, but unfortunately there are still 427 homeless people in the area, a number that is stagnant from the previous year. The U.S. Department of Urban Housing and Development reported that the main structural barrier between a job and the homeless population is reliable transportation. And with the help of an assistance program called Work One, employers are matched with the homeless population and even are provided a ride to work. But unfortunately, after 90 days, the rides expire, and the newly hired employers are stuck finding their own source of transportation, an area that Evansville is behind in providing. Founded bus routes, expensive cab rides, and stolen bikes make it extremely difficult for the homeless population to find a ride to work. Currently, Evansville is behind in providing efficient yet cost-effective methods of transportation.
A few weeks ago, I had the pleasure of speaking with Kenny, a homeless individual here in Evansville, Indiana. He explained how he had been homeless since 2007. After his stepbrother passed away, he was no longer able to afford the upkeep of the trailer they were currently living in. He then went to the streets until finding his way into the United Caring Services, a homeless shelter here in Evansville, Indiana. He explained how finding a reliable source of transportation was so difficult, so pursuing a career and finding a sustainable job was just unrealistic. So we created Right Hand Van, a reliable source of transportation that seats up to 15 passengers. People are eligible for our services after their rides through Work One have expired, which only lasts for a short 90 days. Right Hand Van will pick up its passengers from the 4 main shelters in downtown Evansville, making 3 round trips a day, hitting first, second, and third shifts. Right Hand Van will hit the large manufacturing employers in the area, such as Toyota, Boots Industries, and Ameriqual.
As you can see, Right Hand Van, compared to all other transportation systems in Evansville, is better. We have a free transportation system for homeless people to get to work. We pick them up before and after shifts, and we go outside the city limits, which most transportations do not. We add value to the homeless shelters, as we will be freeing up beds for them to add other homeless people who would be otherwise be sitting on the streets. We also add value to the employers, as we are reducing the employee turnover rate. And lastly, we are adding value to Evansville, as we are reducing the overall homeless population. Our value proposition is for the homeless population in Evansville. Right Hand Van provides transportation from the shelters to work and back. Unlike public transportation, Right Hand Van caters to specific work shifts and operates outside city limits.
And I'm going to talk about our business model. Our key partners in this endeavor are 4 shelters in downtown Evansville: the Evansville Rescue Mission, Ozanon Family Shelter, United Caring Services, and Ruth's House, which is operated by United Caring Services. They're key for us because they're providing us passengers that need our service. They're our channel to reach our end users. Our end users are low tech. They don't have cell phones. Most of them don't have houses, so the only way that they could contact us would be to meet with our driver at the shelter, or they can use a phone at the shelter as well. Another key partners for us are the employers, the manufacturing companies that are out 41. These are some of the best jobs available to the homeless, but unfortunately they're out of range of public transportation. Toyota, Ameriqual, the Matrix Group, there's a lot of good jobs out there. Another one of our key partners is Ron Romaine. He has agreed to donate us a van. He also gave us an idea for another revenue stream. In between running homeless people to and from work and the shelters, we're going to offer non-emergency medical transportation for senior citizens. He told me how there's a major demand for this all across the country, not just in Evansville. But just in Evansville alone, there's almost 30,000 senior citizens, many of which are not able to drive themselves. and nursing homes are legally required to provide transportation to and from doctor's appointments for their residents. Our key activities, punctual transportation. Obviously, we have to pick people up on time, get them to work on time, or to their doctor's appointments. Without doing that, everything else that we're doing falls apart, and we can't deliver on any of our value propositions if we can't get people to and from where they need to be on time. Another one of our key activities, and this affects our revenue streams, is applying for grants. Like any nonprofit, we're going to be applying for several different grants, many of which we're eligible for due to providing innovative transportation problems for transportation disadvantaged people. Another one of our key activities is networking. Networking between our office, our driver, the shelters, doctor's offices, nursing homes will be key to the success of our business. Our key resources, obviously our van and the driver. We can't get anywhere, anybody do anything without those two. As I talked about, the shelters, another key resource. They're providing us with passengers that need our service, as well as the employers are providing our passengers with a destination and an opportunity to overcome their homelessness, hopefully for good. Another key resource for the non-emergency medical transportation through the nursing homes that I talked about earlier. Our value propositions, our first two are safety and reliability. We intend to safely and reliably transport our passengers to and from work or to and from their doctor's visits, wherever they need to go. And we're going to offer our customer segments, we're going to give value to them by offering them peace of mind. For the homeless people, we're going to give them peace of mind that they're going to have plenty of time that they can save up and get their own vehicle, and they won't be back on the streets after 90 days when work one won't give them a ride anymore. And we're going to offer peace of mind to the employers by they're going to know that their workers, they're not going to lose Kenny next week when his 90 days are up. He's going to be able to keep coming to work, which will reduce employee turnover. It will save them a lot of money. And our customer relationships, as I talked about for networking, it's a low-tech business. Everything's going to be done face-to-face through our customer channels with the driver at the shelter or over the phone. And I'm going to turn it over to Josh to talk about cost and revenue streams.
So our costs will include the vans that we do not get donated. We will be putting in $6,000 to buy those vans. We will have the insurance for those vans, which will be about $1,500. We will be purchasing a work phone just so that we have a way to contact or get contacted by the homeless shelters whenever they need rides. Our payroll will be $50,000 between all employees. For gas and maintenance on those vans, we will be putting in about $12,000 so that the vans can make those trips and be able to make it there and back in safety. As well as our contract and legal agreements, they will be as $800, just so that we have contracts with everybody around us as the people who put ads on our vans and everything. That would add up to be about $70,000 and $70,600. Sorry. And our benefits, we will reduce the employee turnover rate, as we said before. So with these companies, spend about $5,000 to train them and to actually pay, keep the human resources paid to train them. And per employee, which will take about 15 per year, that'll be about $75,000. And then we will also increase the quality of life for those employees, as they will now have a steady income to where they can maybe suit for themselves and be able to continue working. So as you can see, when you compare the benefit and total cost, our benefits outweigh the total costs.
Given the opportunity, right-hand van will decrease the homeless population and help drive Evansville's strong job economy. Thank you.